Hey there, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. In this episode, we are looking at episode 4 of Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
This smoke is clogging my trunk!
Maybe getting directions is gonna be harder than I thought. There's gotta be somebody on this planet.
What was that?
Hello? Hello?
Whoa. I wonder who this guy was. Maybe he was the leader of this planet.
Yeah, King No Head.
You think his name is King No Head?
It could be.
Who cares? I mean, the statue's creepy. Everything's creepy here!
Who was that?
Quiet! Ow! What flag do you fly?
What flag do we fly? What does that mean? We don't fly a flag.
Who are you?
Who are you?
We are Toik.
What?
What?
What'd she say?
Toik.
What did she say? I don't know.
We are Toik. If that Attin patrol gets much closer, they'll kill us all, no questions asked. So quickly, for the last time, who are you?
I'm Wim.
Are you guys like an army of kids battling the adults for control over the planet?
What?
I'm Neil. All we want is to find our way home.
Take cover! The enemy approaches.
Who's that?
Enemy patrol.
Now, beware, there will be spoilers throughout this review. I'm basically going to be giving you a plot summary along with my thoughts. An interesting episode. Officially, we still don't know the name of the ship in the story, but it's the Onyx Cinder, we know from the Lego set. And it jumps out of hyperspace into the orbit of a planet that the children believe is their homeworld, At Attin. And we see a bunch of sort of satellites, which presumably are ones that generate a barrier. It soon becomes apparent this is not At Attin. Although when they land, the children find the planet looking very familiar, the same style of buildings, etc., the same kind of layout. This is a destroyed world. There is a stench of ash, there's smoke everywhere, everything's ruined, and it becomes apparent this is not At Attin. And we, through the crew, through the children, and through Jod, who is kind of told to remain on the ship with the droid 33, we meet a gang of people called the Troik. The Troik appears to consist of children and adults, and it's apparent that the Troik basically don't distinguish between the two, and they are at war with another tribe of people called the Attin. And it turns out that we are on the planet At Akran, which is presumably one of the sister worlds of At Attin, presumably also once hidden for reasons we have yet to discover. And the Troik have their home in a school, which I think Neil recognises it's a school because it's the same style of building as the school they have on At Attin, where they meet a General Strix. General Strix is the leader of the Troik, and he appears, what looks to me, he's got a staff, and what it looks awfully to me like it might be intended to be an X-wing laser cannon from the tip of the wing. I could be wrong, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's what I thought it was. Incidentally, his daughter, Haina, carries a gun, the tip of which looks awfully like a Dalek gun. And I'm wondering if that's deliberate, because it's very, very like a Dalek gun with the sort of spindly bits on. So, as I say, General Strix has a daughter, Haina, who's a child, who kind of befriends our crew. Now, here's something I don't quite get. Haina has a very, very pronounced French accent. Her father, General Strix, does not, and nor does anyone else that I can pick up. So, where did she get that from? Don't know. Anyway, as I say, the children are kind of treated as adults, and the children are kind of recruited into the Troik. But I think the intention is to use them as cannon fodder. There's a scene later on where the whole Troik force is massed up, bundled up, going down a street. So these guys have clearly got no idea about military tactics, which, to be fair, is kind of Star Wars as a whole. The irony is that Star Wars doesn't actually have much in the way of tactical. It's basically two forces ramming into each other. You don't see flanking attacks. You don't see... It's very weird, the wars in Star Wars. Anyway, they're all bunched up, but they send our heroes kind of ahead first. Essentially, they are trying to strike back at the Attin, who have stolen all of their earpies, their sort of, horse, cattle type animals. But they run into Jod. And Jod was essentially captured with 33 as he left the ship, and he bought off the Attin. They're quite practical, it seems, and basically he gave them Old Republic credits, and they gave him the earpiece back. He gives the earpiece back to the Troik, and they let the children go. It's quite a funny scene where the Troik say to Jod, "Are you sure you wouldn't have some of our best hides rather than this lot?" And he says, "How many hides?" And it's interesting because you get a kind of... There's a real feeling of protector camaraderie between Jod and the kids. It's quite touching, I think. So they head off to what's the Fallen Sanctum, where they are told there are the coordinates of At Attin. So if this is At Akron and one of the sister planets of At Attin, all the other planets should have their coordinates there somewhere. I just want to say, walking through the ruined city looks very good, very atmospheric, lots of dust and smoke. And I got a real kind of flashback to at least one of the planets in Star Wars, the Old Republic, when I used to sort of fight my way through a ruined city there. I kind of got that same feeling. It's same kind of, it gelled with me quite a lot. They're heading for a place called the Inner Sanctum, which, as it turns out, is At Akron's version of At Attin's supervisor tower. Luckily, the lift still works. That's good, eh? And at the top of the lift are these pillars with some very dusty kind of inscriptions on them, which give the spatial coordinates of all the other cities. So planets. Sorry. So we've got at A2 W with a not W UU at A2, at Akron where they are, at Arisia, at Aravin, and you've got at Akoda, and then of course you've got at Attin. So I make that 6 different planets. But they get to the where the coordinates of At Attin should be, and they have been destroyed. They've been removed. Whereupon SM33, who the whole time has been saying, "Can't say I remember no At Attin," that whole phrase twists, and it's not that he doesn't remember At Attin, he can't say that he remembers At Attin, which is a nice touch. And it turns out that his previous captain asked him to destroy those coordinates. He's been there before. And basically kind of threatens to say, well, you know, my last captain said that if anyone was poking around, I should tear them limb from limb. And yeah, basically he goes on a bit of a rampage, or the start of a rampage. Fern has a bit of a, we have a nice little character moment with Fern where she kind of has a bit of a crisis about being captain. But yeah, another intriguing episode. It goes along fairly quickly. All that's there's a lot of intriguing plot here because we now just know the names of the other planets. Why were they hidden? How have these other planets become not hidden, found? I guess whatever. And yeah, I liked it. I really liked the scenes in the ruined city. I thought it was really good. We're getting a lot of kind of variety of sort of planets here. So we've had At Attin, which is a very sort of suburban kind of planet. We've had a pirate's kind of moon. We've had like a pirate's kind of outpost. We've had a moon with a giant planet with not much on it, and now we've got this sort of ruined planet. It's cool, and it's yeah, I'm really digging this series. And as I say, I think Jude Law works particularly well. I think he's got good relationships or good chemistry, should I say, with the children. And as I say, as I said before, if you're not watching this series, I would definitely pick it up. I didn't watch The Acolyte, and I know it didn't get very good reviews, but I think this one is good. I've not watched any other reviews of this. This is just purely my opinion. So we will see what happens in the next episode. I would like to say thank you very much for watching this episode of Total Ramblings. As usual, please do the like, subscribe, comment, share, bell icon, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you in the next episode of Total Ramblings, whatever it might be. And I hope you're having a very lovely day. Goodbye.